Yo, yo, what's going on? Got my boy on. Let's put him on here. Put my Had my guy into the call. Coach, what's
What
going on? Good to
up with,
see you.
what up with your dog?
JK, what's good with you, my dog? How's everything?
Man, everything going good, bro. Just taking one day at a time, bro. How you doing, dog?
I'm doing good, man. I'm blessed, man. I just talked to one of our. I don't know if you remember Mike in Utah. In Utah with us. Utah Blaze. I was just talking to him,
What
chopping
position?
it up.
What position you play?
He played DN, and then he played Cleveland, and New Orleans, after that.
What last name? Austin?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I know you're talking about.
yeah.
Ball head? Had a ball head?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I played with him, but I didn't. I think like after the game, I didn't chop it up with him. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe briefly. But I know you're talking about though.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
yeah.
motor though.
Because ain't he a Q?
He might. I went to Bruhs then, so you know what I'm saying. But he probably is the Bruhs though, bruh. But I went, you know what I'm saying. When we was playing, I'm sure I was running into all type of Bruhs, but I didn't know. It's like almost when you become the Bruhs, bruh, you start. Hold on, you the Bruhs? Oh, you Bruhs? Oh, yeah, you know what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
I be bumping into Bruhs all the time like that. I didn't like either I didn't seen like even like the bruh. You remember, I think it's Jamar Taylor. He played for Jacksonville. He played for Clemson. Huge receiver.
The
It was
name
number
sound
5. And
familiar.
then he went to, he played in Arizona. Well, he played not Arizona, but he played in, and one of the teams he played for was Jacksonville, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Well, then, make a long story short, he was doing strength and conditioning at MT. So
Got you.
when I ran into him, because I remember when I was like in high school watching him play in the spring game at Clemson,
Hmm.
and I'm like, dude, play receiver, bro. He took a hitch to the crib. It was about 80 yards, bro. If you see how it, bro, but yeah, he the bruh. So when I had finally like met him, you know what I'm saying, I'm bruh. So, but yeah, I'm sure though as the bruh, it'd be cool to top it up though, man. That's what's up. Wait, what Mike doing, man?
Shoot, man, he out there in Ohio where he from, living, started his business.
Yeah.
Everybody entrepreneurs now, man, and doing their thing, which happy to talk about these things. And we talk about entrepreneurship, and you hit on it a little bit as well. College, bro. I want to talk about, man, this little whole thing coming out with NCAA, the video game, man. We gonna get into that.
Yeah.
My boy Cho on right now. Um,
Yo, Joe, what up, Joe? And Joe, so long, but hey, that was good to see. Well, hear from you, Joe.
yeah, man. So, recently something just came out,
Yeah.
and I don't think everybody completely understands the multitude of it. We was on the video games, so we understand.
Mm,
NCAA had to be discontinued because they were using our likeness, and we wasn't getting paid for it.
yeah.
Now the NCAA has said we are willing to pay players $600, okay, for you to opt in so we can use your name, image, and likeness. Bro, what is this? What is your thought process with this? And then, how do you think these kids should navigate?
So, like we talked about it a little bit the other day. My initial thought process, bro, like, so as a kid, like we grew up playing video games. We grew up playing NCAA. You know what I mean? So, shoot, talking about Cho, I remember us staying up late at night to wait for the NCAA to drop, and
Yeah.
then we went to GameStop, caught the game just to go see what our
Mhm.
ratings. They weren't, rating us crazy. We weren't
Yeah.
99 or nothing like that. But it was just the fact that, bro, I could put a game in and
Mhm.
I didn't have to create it myself. I ain't have to, they got my number. My freshman year, they had me looking tacky though, bro. They had no gloves gloves on, no wristbands. But just as a kid, like getting the opportunity to be in the game, bro, like that joint was priceless. Think about it. Like we when we was in school, we ain't asked for no money. We didn't want no money.
Exactly.
Like the fact that we was in the game, you know what I mean? So much so, like, so when the game coming back out, those people that volunteered or that signed up for it, I can't blame them because the kid at heart. Like
Mm-hmm.
when we was talking the other day, I shared like that I sold my junior year, well, my senior year, the game, the cover that Tim
Yeah.
Tebow was on, that was my senior year. So I was an impact player. So, you know, impact player, you blinking. Because we use that terminology.
Mm-hmm.
Like somebody out there, buddy blinking out there.
Exactly.
What? He got. So I was an impact player. So that jump was huge to me. I'm like, bro, I'm playing the game. I do my player. I'm out there blinking out there.
Yeah.
And when I got out of school, I sold the game.
Yep.
And I didn't, you know, I'm a jit. Like, I'm like, man, this don't mean nothing to me. I'm about to sell this to go get 2K. That's what I did.
Exactly.
And then when I had my son, I was like, dang, bro, like my son ain't gonna ever know I was in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So I went back to GameStop, found the GameStop that had it, and I got it. You know what I'm saying? To show my son. So at my heart, when I hear that they bringing the game out, bro, I buy in, bro,
Yeah.
right? Because everybody want to have their name on the game. You play Madden all the time. Everybody don't make it to the NFL.
Exactly.
And so if I'm in college, this might be the only time I'm gonna get the game. Now, but now I'm thinking about it as a business, because when we was in school, it was kind of like, all right, these are kids playing college football.
Mm-hmm.
The business we weren't privy to the business,
Yeah.
right? We weren't. It wasn't disclosed as much. We didn't know the type of money that was being made. We didn't know how much money they was making off our likeness, or if we had a appearance,
Mm-hmm.
you know, for who made money, what made money, stuff like. But now, when everything is uncovered and man, you know what I'm saying, to offer NCAA to offer them $600, bro, it's really like a slap in their face. You know what I'm saying? Because now we were talking about it, $600 for us go a long way. You know what I'm saying? $600 when we was in school, like that was, I think, like my freshman year, I think our meal plan was $800. So $800 carried us, if you use it right, carried us from August all the way to the end of November.
Mm-hmm.
But these kids getting 6 figures, 7 figures, $600. Like we talked about, bro, it's like $2.
Exactly.
So, and I seen your post the other day. You made a good point. Like how much money NCAA about to make off of the likeness of these players can't even compare to that measly $600 that they're giving, right? And so, like I say, the kid at heart that I am, I say, man, hey, take that deal, play the game, get your name in the game. You know what I'm saying? Once in a lifetime experience. But then when I think about the business side of it, I can understand why players should, why players might say, hey, I'm going to step aside. So that's my initial thought of it, bro. And I'll let you, go and we can get more into it.
Man,
What your initial thought though? You know what I'm saying?
My initial thought was ain't no way. Ain't no way.
Yeah.
And my route to the D1 level a little different because I went to JUCO.
Yeah.
So my perception was a little different. I didn't come into, okay, you get to ask for these cleats. You get to ask for these gloves at any point in time. So, to get to this opportunity now, D1, which I didn't take for granted, but it was just like, even then, I didn't say anything, but I just felt like I was being used, not necessarily like I had to be at certain places because they told us, but we didn't benefit from anything. Yeah. And I never liked that feeling. And at that time, I didn't know how to articulate or express that in the manner as which I can now as an adult. So I didn't think college was taking advantage of us. I just felt like it could have been more that they could have given us like a
Yeah.
partnership. So we both played arena football, and we talked about it when we was on your podcast and you was on mine, how, you know, at some point in time you realize your value and what you bring.
Yeah.
And as soon as I got to arena football, I understood everything is negotiable. Everything.
Yeah.
And when people only can take advantage of you when you don't understand your worth.
Yeah.
That's the only time.
Mm-hmm.
So when you are naive and you don't have knowledge, which most of us when we're younger, people take advantage of us. Yeah. It's only when you hit a certain status or that light goes off, like, you know what? I'm bringing a lot to the table.
Yeah.
And during COVID, going back to COVID 2020, there was an opportunity for the kids where there was like, we were not going to play unless we have certain demands.
Yeah.
And I was truly excited about it because the players understood their power. Now, they end up playing that year. I can't fault them. Of course, you want to play.
Yeah.
But I felt at the time like it was some unity, and everybody started to understand like, oh, we got power. Like, y'all want us to play, then we need to get these done. We need these things to happen for us. And of course, it was a lot of, we had some killings and riots and stuff like that. So there was a lot of stuff going on during that time as well. To fast forward to now with that game, I was like, there's no way that people or the kids, they truly understand like their value, because if they did, there's no way they would accept this.
Yeah.
Now, of course, I understand for a young man to opt into this opportunity. Once again, you're on a game. Like you said, that I see myself, I'm playing with who I am. I don't need to create me. Because I came from JUCO, they didn't know me my junior year. My senior year, I was on the game.
Yeah.
Essentially, I'm on the game for 1 year. So if you are transferring to school, are you even going to be on the game? Now they update everything now and whatnot. But during this time, I was only there for only there for 1 year. So just imagine like you in college for 4 years. I only get for 1 year of me opting in. I'm on this game for the eternity of the rest of his existence. Yeah. I only get $600 one time. It's no possible way. Yeah. And now being in the financial education, understanding how business work and how everybody's making money off of the back of what you do, I don't think it's fair. Not necessarily because that's how business is, first of all, but it's not fair though if we don't educate first to say like, hey, this isn't a good deal. Yeah. Let's get some education and let's actually come to the table, because these kids are going to make the game. That's what's going to make it. They're going to make it special. Yeah. They're going to make it special. So that's more so I wanted to educate, and that's what the reason for my post, like educate. And of course, what people do is their own, but if you educate and understand your value, you look at it a little different. Like, you know what? I didn't see it like that. Yeah. You know what? And my point of view may not be perfect as well, but as long as we get some different voices to bounce off, we get to see the whole perspective.
And I think your point is the education piece is important, right? And one of my students, what up, bro? Do your homework. But yeah, so I think it's so important. And when you talk about businesses, right? Businesses know that they can take advantage, right? In many cases, especially when you talk about in football, this game of football. Football is so it is like a replaceable game, right? Like let's be honest. At the end of the day, like you got your freakish athletes, right, with football, but we know most of an NFL roster is interchangeable. There's a guy that you're training right now, and replace somebody. So it's really about opportunity.
Yep.
So when we're not playing basketball, and a lot of 6'9" guys,
Mm-hmm.
guys, you know, skill
Yeah.
game, right?
Yeah.
Baseball. Not everybody can throw 100 miles per hour, hit a baseball. But with football, majority of everybody could catch.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody can learn how to tackle, and you don't have to be this giant.
Yep.
You could be 5'5", run a 4.2, and go.
Mm-hmm.
So it's replaceable. So now, because I know it's replaceable, I could bring a low
Yep.
offer because I know if you don't take it, somebody behind you at home, like, hey, I come play at the lockout or the holdout in arena.
Yeah.
When it's boycotted, get what they got?
Mm-hmm.
Replacement players. NFL. When the NFL players, what they got? Replacement
Yep.
players. If the NFL boycott right now, you know how many free agents are right now?
Mm-hmm.
That go and play, that would go and play for 200,000.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So they know that they got their consumers, right? And then when you talk about just them, I think their strategy was good for
Mm-hmm.
them, NCAA, to just go at everybody
Yeah.
individually. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? Instead of having a collective group representing the NCAA players,
Mm-hmm.
right? If they had one player from every conference, like just say they had 11 players, one from Sun Belt, Conference USA, SEC, they all met. Now you got a smaller
Yeah.
group. Now you can't control that. You got less voices, so now you like, nah, we're gonna send this back to the table. We want more than $600.
Uh-huh.
But hey, you know what? Hey, we're gonna ask every individual, because EA said we're gonna make the game regardless.
Exactly.
They
Regardless.
gonna make it regardless. So since we're gonna make it regardless, we're gonna ask every individual player. And every individual player ain't gonna be on one accord.
Mm-hmm.
Because like you got Travis Hunter, he don't need $600. He just wanna go play the game. Right?
Yeah.
So it don't matter, like, yeah, he gonna buy in, you know what I'm saying? Because it helps with his value.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Got some NILs on the back
Exactly.
end. But then you got somebody that's at Wyoming who like, bro, I need this $600 NIL deal. Hey, boy, this $600 sound good. I can't afford it, you know. So I just think that the NCAA strategy, it was sneaky,
Oh yeah.
but effective because they went at everybody individually instead of letting the NCAA just have representation or like smaller group represent the whole body. And then I think you could have got negotiation though, bro. But I think you said right though, educating, and then leads to the negotiation, and it leads to you knowing your value, and then being able to require more.
No, for sure. And we talked about it too, because I believe NIL, you know, people don't like it. I believe it's awesome for the kids.
Yeah.
Because first of all, they should be compensated for what they're doing.
Yeah.
And we're not even talking, because I think they should get paid to play regardless.
Yeah.
Forget NIL. Everybody should get paid to play.
It's a job. Come on.
Exactly. And you know, I just like when coaches, when they say this is their selling point. You know, it's not about the scholarship; it's about getting the education. As we know, if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing in that classroom or on that field, they can take that scholarship away quick in a hurry. You can go back home. So you can't sell anymore that these kids is just about education. That's not necessarily true. And then to go a little further, we have got degrees. We know people who got degrees. They don't have jobs in what they're doing. So what are we selling? What are we selling about a degree?
Yeah.
So let's not go into those things as far as we just selling education, because we see it from when we came out that that's not doing anything for us and our generation. And these kids, they're getting educated and they're seeing their family members, they go through that whole thing. It doesn't make sense for them to continue to repeat that cycle.
Yeah.
So when we get into now, why does this benefit the NIL benefit the kids? Because now you're teaching, we're working muscles where now I understand at a young age, how does business work and how does it look? Because now when I get older, I have leverage. You want to use my likeness still. You want to promote me, or now I can sell myself on why I should be hired here, or why you know, I should be an asset to your team, or why I can demand this amount because of where I stand, my status. This gives the opportunity for these young people to grow so much faster in a financial way rather than being taken advantage of. And, there was a thing, the NCAA actually just went to court with, I think it was Iowa State and Tennessee, because they were trying to interfere of how the NIL was done.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad the judges, they said NCAA they can't intervene or anything like that, because once again, this corporation, the NCAA, doesn't care about what it looks like. They want to make sure that they control the dollars and that they're getting some, just like our government.
Yeah.
So, if we understand, and I just had this conversation last week with my boy, if we understand that the worst, and it's fine when I say this, the worst way to be in this country is being an employer. Because if you look, this world that we in, the U.S., is run by corporations. So a corporation, you can write off things. A corporation, you can pay certain things and get tax deductible. But when you're an employer, you don't benefit in those rights. It's not until you become a corporation yourself, well, now I can inherit, I can get this business, this line of credit. I can get, because I look established, because this is how the world operates. And once I understand the game and know what it look like, then that's when we're going to truly benefit, and we need to educate these kids on what that looks like.
Nah, that's true. You speaking a mouthful, bro, for real, man, because I was just telling as well. Just I think just the other day, man, just saying like basically how we, like you said, like being in the world is for business owners.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? The tax brackets, the tax break, like it's for the people that own businesses. It's not for people that you know what I'm saying, have a 9-to-5 job, and I have a 9-to-5 job and I have a business as well. So I'm not one that's like, oh, you gotta like, because everybody want to be, you know what I'm saying? But when you understand how the world works and you understand the fabric of America, right? As monopoly, and then it's like, right, that the powers that be, they got a problem when they can't control it.
Exactly.
We can go to marijuana. Oh, they had a problem with marijuana, but then guess what? When they find a way to monetize it, we got like, so hold on, wait a minute. All these people get thrown into jail that look like you. You know what I'm saying? For these crimes, but now they're making millions of dollars off of it. And so it's just like understanding like that, bro, you are a business, and I love the NIL as well, because most people think, oh, you getting a scholarship education. Okay, I think about when you play a sport in college, you can't have no other job. So they say that we didn't make it to the NFL, but we were 1%ers.
Exactly.
Right? Because if you take, even though we didn't, so 1% makes it to the NFL. Okay, so 1%. So if you add all the professional football leagues in the world, which is AFL, right? Right, and it's still 1% of all the football.
Exactly.
Right. So everybody not gonna pro, right? But so at the same time, so you're gonna end up getting a job.
Exactly.
So when you go get a job, they're gonna say, hey, what's your experience? Now, bro, I ain't got no experience, bro. From 18 to 20. Now think about these kids that's been in college, because they've been in college 6 years.
6 years.
They're gonna be like, where's your experience in 6 years? Man, I couldn't work. I played football. I played basketball. I played baseball. So now you got to start at the bottom because you don't got no experience, but you got a degree. So why people say, man, y'all don't need to get paid? Yes, you do. And that's why I love it too, because now kids don't got to rush to the league. Think about it to the league, bro. Nobody wanted the red shirt. It was all about, man, I was trying to be a true freshman so bad, because I remember growing up as a kid and hearing people talk, hear my uncles talk, or hear my, you know what I'm saying, people talk, they like, hey, boy, that boy nice, but he a true freshman.
Yeah.
So when I'm like, man, I ain't trying to red shirt, I'm trying to ball out. Now, you able to make this money in college, NIL, why you rushing to the league? You know what I'm saying? Stack that bread, take care of that bread, learn, right? And then everything free, you're living free. You know what I'm saying? Because you got the scholarship. You know what I'm saying? You probably got a car. They might have been an NIL deal or whatever the case may be. And like, hey, bro, stay in college as long as you can, because when you graduate, even if you don't make it to the league, you debt free,
Mm-hmm.
and now you got capital in your pocket. So
Exactly.
now you don't got to go choose just any job. Now you could go be intentional about what you want to do, because hey, I got a little capital in my pocket, so
Yeah.
and I could go start a business, or I can start a business while I'm in school. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Man, I think these kids right now, bro, they're ahead of the
Yeah.
game. They get that educational piece, like you said, to know what decisions to make. Because they still 19,
Yep.
20, 21, 22, 23. So, they got to make sure they buying the right stuff, and it ain't just about looking flashy, because they
Mm-hmm.
realize when you get older what it's really, really about. So they just got to make sure they have that educational piece, like you said, though, bro.
Nah, big time, Brian. You was spitting facts, bro, because not only that though, too, as you said, spending, but making it last. Because we know the NFL, there's no guarantees, okay? So when you got an opportunity, and this is heavy what you said, when I have the leverage, they was talking about Harrison at Ohio State. They were saying he might possibly stay his senior year, and I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, this would be awesome," because
Yeah.
it would show the leverage. Like, I don't need to go to the league. What's I'm gonna make the same amount, and people are like, "Oh, the thing is about going to the league." You got to understand, the NFL playing football is a stressful job. I don't
Man.
care what nobody say. It's not until you in that position you understand how stressful it is.
Yeah.
So you telling me I can still be a kid and play a game and get paid the same amount I would be without the stress of all the other things? I'm taking that all
Taking it
day.
all day. I would have, hey, boy, hey, my name is Jeremy McKellar. In my 8th year in college. Hey, but because the thing is, bro, when we grew up, we wanted to make it to
Yeah.
the league, yes, right? But we knew what the league was paying.
Mm-hmm.
We know the lifestyle that we want to
Yes.
live. So the league was just an avenue to get me the lifestyle that I wanted. So now these kids don't gotta go to the league.
Exactly.
Now you telling me, like, dude from out there in Orlando, but I think he go to where he just bought his mama a house with NIL
Yes.
money. Bro,
Yes.
we were like, nah, I gotta go to the league. I'm trying to get my people right. This man just did that junk in college. Not junk, you know what I'm saying? Like, just did that in college. So if your goal is to live a nice life and being able to travel and being able to do what you're passionate about doing, you purpose do in 2024, you don't need professional sports to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you making 6 figures, you know what I'm saying, in college every year,
Yes.
bro, and you leave debt free. So now,
Exactly.
9 times out of 10, you probably ain't married and you probably don't have kids. So now you don't got to go get a big house when you graduate. Man, you go get you an apartment. You go get you
Mm-hmm.
something that's feasible. It's just you. You know what I'm saying? Why you stack more bread? So it's like, bro, for me to make it to the league, yeah, I wanted to go make it to the league. I wanted the lifestyle, but I wanted the money
Exactly.
that bring, like the stuff
Yeah.
that and so man, if I could have did that in college, I wouldn't have. I don't think I would much, or I would not. I felt that pressure of making it to the league so much, because it's like, bro, I'm making that money here,
Oh,
like,
exactly.
And then the thing is, like you said, Marvin Harrison Jr., he's a celebrity in Ohio. He can't do nothing wrong. And so it's like, man, you go to NFL, man, now you got to deal with politics, you got to deal with the media, deal with, and it's like, bro, man, Ohio State, man, you chilling, you working out, you balling out, but you getting paid,
Yes.
you good, it's just less stressors, man. But I just, man, I like what kids have at now in college. I know it's hard for coaches, you know what I'm saying, because everything's a negotiation, and that's why I think some coaches are leaving the college game, whether they're retiring or going to the NFL,
Yep.
because they know they're not in control no more. And if you always been in control and you lose control, you're gonna hate.
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
Now, oh, hold on, wait a minute. I got value.
Exactly.
You can't like, I got options. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's what I love for the kids, but the kids just gotta make sure they don't abuse those options, though, bro.
No, big time. I think it's three things that I think. One, what you said regarding the coaching, I think that's very impactful because we have known talented guys who went to a situation and we was like, oh man, they about to kill it. And we talked to them like, bro, what's going on? They bump ahead with the coaches, they position coach or whatever coach it is, regardless of if it's right or wrong. Of
Yeah.
course, it's a kid. They need to understand that. But you not paying them because you got a vendetta against him, though. That's what's crazy though. So now you take away that power from that coach. All right, hold on, man. Look, I need my top guy playing. You can't be playing these games no more, and it's gonna hurt them. But I feel bad for these coaches though too because they changing these rules. Now they got to coach 365 now. Okay, they're about to change where now they can sign in December, and now they're going to sign in the summer. At one point in time when we was coming
Oh,
up, you only had an opportunity to really sign at 2 times.
yeah. Early
Okay,
sign. Yeah.
so now you making these coaches, they pay is going up because of these TV deals.
Yeah.
Okay, but everybody's not getting paid like that. But at the same time, they still need to get those kids to come in, and they need to be able to have some wiggle room. Now, incidents for strapping them, stuff like that, when they're at these smaller schools. Now, like you said, that conversation is a little different. Coach, what can you do for me? And I talk about it all the time. It's two things how this is going to affect players. Players, of course, you want to get paid. Now, certain schools you won't be able to go to just because they're looking for a certain tier of player. Not saying you can't play at that level. It's just what they're looking at.
Mm-hmm.
Example, Alabama. You might be a three-star recruit, but you're really better than that. But that's just where they got you slotted at.
Yeah.
So, are they going to recruit you as heavy as a 5 or 4-star? No. So therefore, your options are a little different. But now you need to be going to the best school that can develop you. Because I've talked to coaches who said we're looking for guys who can come in. Because now with this NIL and with these coaches, they understand I don't have time to develop because first of all, these kids not going to be here long enough.
Yeah.
And then two, if they're going to transfer, if they can transfer in and I don't have to teach so much on like really develop them, how can I get them on the field and produce? That makes my job, I look even better. So if you're not that top guy, you need to be focusing on as a player, how do I get developed? Where is the best place for me to get developed to maximize my ability to purchase or to make as much as possible? And then the other thing is you talked about, the dude from Orlando, he bought for his family. I think it's incredible. I think that's awesome. The stress of, able to do that for your family. Every child wants that for their home. I mean, for their household and their legacy. And I saw this on a podcast. It's only in our community, the Black community, and of course some other communities where when you make it, we now give it to our parents. We going backwards. It's not going forward though. Okay, so we need to make sure we secure our financial freedom now, and then we can take care of our family. If I'm buying a house, mom and dad, you living with me.
Yeah.
you living with me for right now, or I'm gonna buy up your house.
Yeah.
Or I'm going, we're gonna stay on this one property rather than buying them a house.
Yeah.
We ain't got a house yet, and we know, like I said, football is not guaranteed. Anything can happen. If I get hurt today, that money disappear if I blow it. So now how mom and dad, how they gonna pay for the house?
Nah, for sure, bro.
Where I'm gonna live at now?
No, well, you gotta move in with them. You good? You gotta went mute. That's me. You hear me? Is that my phone? Hold on, dog. It's, I can't hear you, dog.
Okay,
They,
I'm back. I'm
yeah, yeah.
back. Yeah.
Nah, I think you know what I'm saying, what you're saying is so true, man, and especially in the black community. Um, like, you know, it's so sad though because it's not our fault though.
Hmm.
You know,
For sure.
and that's where, because when I think about Black Wall Street, you know, the Tulsa, Oklahoma, the riots, and I was telling my kids this, man, at school. I was like, man, now think about this, man. You had all these businesses. They had I think like 5 airplanes
Yeah.
back then, bro.
Yeah.
All in. And I said, so you telling me if Black Wall Street, if that massacre would have never happened, we would probably have a black-owned airlines. Like I was
Hmm.
showing them all what they had there, and
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, look at all this generational wealth, right? And it put us even further
Yeah.
behind, right? But just because, you know, right? So we know what happened and we know the reason why, but we can't stay that way. And so,
Yeah.
like you said, our job is, hey, let me secure my generational wealth moving forward. Let me make sure my kids good. Then when I make sure my kids good, right? Now I'm able to make sure my parents good.
Yeah.
Because if we like going back, oh, I
Yeah.
get that money back, I get that money, I pay it back, then my kids don't get money, I have to pay it back. You don't have to get
Hmm.
right. So you know, people that don't look like us, right? Caucasian people more so. Most of them don't have that issue,
Yep.
right? In America, because we know how America's set up,
Hmm.
right? And so, like I say, a lot of our conditioning, why we where we are right now as a black community, is because it wasn't our
Yeah.
fault, right? That's how the game was set up. However, because we know the game, we know the rules, and we know better. We know better. We got to do better.
Yeah.
Like making sure that I had an agent tell me before, like when I was coming out, he was just like, basically, when you make your money, when you in the league, or when you know making your money, it was like you got to live under your means,
Yeah.
you know, under your means. So then when you retire, now you could properly assess where
Hmm.
you are, because this is going to be your living arrangements moving forward, right? So if I'm making, you know, 5 million a year in the league, I can't live like, or I shouldn't live like I'm making five
Exactly.
million a year. I
Exactly.
should live like, all right, maybe I'm making 300,000 a year.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm making 5 million a year. You know what I'm saying? And then when I'm done playing, now I can assess how much money I got left and say, okay, this is how much I got. Now let me adjust my lifestyle.
Yeah.
But when we live, we making 20 mil, and we live like we making 20 mil, and then when we not making 20
Yeah.
mil, I still got 20 mil bills. Now how I'm gonna pay that 20 mil bill because I
Exactly.
ain't got that 20 mil. And I think that when if we look at it like that, I think we'll be better. I think these kids will be better. Like even right now, when you're making that NIL deal, think about how much money you really need in college right now.
Exactly. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't get all the bread,
Hmm.
but how much right now? Cause the food free, you get a meal plan. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? You know, you might have a car, whatever the case may be, but how much money you really need? So
Exactly.
don't live in college like you making 6 figures. Just live beneath your means, you know what I'm saying? Live like a regular college student.
Yeah.
Then when you graduate, now you assess how much you got. Now you can go and buy the nice spot. But you know the
Exactly.
bread I got now. Like this what I got. So I think that's important too, man. Just thinking long game,
Yes.
and knowing that, man, this money ain't gonna be coming in like that. You know what I'm saying? You know, I think that it's definitely a blessing to be in college and being able to get an NIL deal or playing pro sports in the NFL. But who these players making, you know, 80,000 a week?
Hmm.
Some of them making three. You know what I'm saying? 70,000 a week. Where are you gonna make 70,000 every week? No, you're not gonna do that. So you gotta, you know, make sure that you live under your means, man. And then when you're done, now you reassess. And now you can kind of go get a lifestyle you want now.
Exactly, man. I think this is, and we can start wrapping it up, man, because I think one is for coaches, for those who interact with the youth, for them to understand, not necessarily understand, but to push it forward on educating them. And I understand there's some coaches who are not there yet, but it's like the likeness of us who have been at that level, who played football, who you know, have nephews and nieces, we can teach them the game, because of course we do not want them to go through the same things we went to, especially how the times are looking. Okay, they're in a much better environment than when we was there in that situation. But not only that, helping them build a brand. And we saw this whole thing that happened with the 707, which was very unfortunate with Cam Newton in that situation. Regardless of what it is, we are not living up to, because it was a point in time when we had to look a certain way because everybody was looking at us.
Yeah.
As far as, you know, us as black men carrying ourselves, hey, man, this is my guy. He's doing it the right way. We're starting to lose a little bit of that, and it's starting with our coaches. It's starting with our parents. And we need to get back to fixing our foundation and having where we're able to mentor. That's why I love what you do, man. You speaking life into these guys and to these young adults as they go off to their next phases. I love what I do is able to, yes, training, but now how do we navigate what this world looks like, what is thrown at us? Because it's not all about sports, as we already know.
Yeah.
It's talking about getting a job. It's talking about, okay, how does it look like to be a father, a wife? What are all these things? What are these attributes to help me as an individual be the best possible person possible? Now, if we educate ourselves, our adults, educate these kids to be the best possible person, on and off the field, in that classroom, as human beings, and do it where now, man, once you get that opportunity, because we're all gonna get an opportunity, and whatever facet of life, whether it's sports, whether it's an opportunity as a job, be that business owner, whatever it is, if we understand our value, but not only that, if we brand ourselves correctly, and that's a big thing now. If we understand like the value that I'm bringing, and I'm able to brand myself, because we know it, college football, there's no bigger opportunity and platform than college football. Regardless if you're the punter, regardless if you're the long snapper, nobody's going to know you as much than in college sports in general. You said what?
I say when you are an active player, that's the most attention you're gonna get.
The most attention you're gonna get. So if I'm able to understand, okay, I may not be this high caliber guy, but I still, and I see it when I love it when I see guys who they wasn't the high caliber guy and they still go to the school and they balling out, but they understand like, nah, this I see the business part of it.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is, if we understand the opportunity and grab it by the horns rather than everybody giving everything to us, we're gonna be in a better opportunity rather than, oh, I'm waiting for them to make this deal with me. No, I understand it myself. I'm going to create this opportunity not only for myself but for my family, which is now ownership, partnerships, and this is what's going to make and drive our kids forward for the future.
Nah, for sure, man. And I just say this last thing, man. You know, like you said, is you know, when you create the value, for the kids out there, you know, people that's listening and watching, I know, you know, that's what you're all about, and which I apply what you do, man. Just like you say, start with the training, but it's so big, so much more than sports, man. You're training them for life ultimately, because they're gonna take those lessons. But if you create the value, people will see the value and want to add your value to what they're doing. And a point, you know, I think sometimes I think as people, we're waiting for things to happen, and you know, we big in our faith and our relationship with Jesus Christ. And I think, you know, a lot of times in my walk with him, there were times when I was younger in my faith where I'm like, all right, man, I'm just waiting on God to do this, I'm waiting on God. And it's not that sometimes we ain't waiting on him, he waiting on us.
Exactly.
Right. And so there's a scripture in the Bible, it's in Judges. I just read it the other day, and make a long story short, the people were telling I think I was telling Joshua, but they were telling them, Israelites was like, basically they was like, hey, we're too big for where we are. Like, in other words, how great they were, how much potential they had. He was serve a bigger inheritance. And he was like, you know what? You right. You do deserve that. And
Yeah.
they was believe that so much. How about you do the work and go get it?
Mm-hmm.
And right over there. So go get it. So it wasn't that it wasn't available for them to work in. And so I think that if kids understand that, yo, if you go out and create your value, whatever is podcast, if you go out there and ball, or while you're playing, if you market yourself, you brand yourself
Mm-hmm.
correct, people gonna recognize it. And be like, man, I like how they represent themselves. I know, man, or you know what I'm saying, they learn more about you. Now they see your brand, they see your value, and they want to add it to that company. Because I even like me calling the games at MT, bro. When we was at MT, I told them, hey, look, I want to be a broadcaster one day. I told them. Then they started giving me opportunities while we was at MT.
Mm-hmm.
Then that 2000, I graduated MT at 2010. Here come 2020, they give me a call. Hey man, we got this opportunity.
Yeah.
Hey, I created that. I created the conversation. I started to, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I was coming back every year.
Yep.
I was in the Arena League. I feel like I got a good, healthy brand,
Mm-hmm.
right? Kept that relationship. Now they like, hey, look, man, we want to see if you want to partner with us, man. And then as far as coaches, to that point that you said, lastly, and I'll be done, man. I know we got families to get back to. Is I just encourage the coaches out there to be the example.
Yeah.
And you don't know. I mean, you probably do know, but I'm just saying everybody might not tell you.
Exactly.
That everybody you train, they're learning how to be a husband,
Mm-hmm.
how to be a father, and not just a husband, but a loyal, committed, faithful husband that take care of their responsibility. When they hear you say, "Hey man, all right, man, I'm about to," or your wife call and you talk the way you talk to her, he be like, "Hey, I'm gonna be home. I'm gonna stop by, get you something to eat." Them kids you training, they like, man, Coach Ike, man, that's the husband. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, Coach Ike real about his kids, he about his wife, right? And that's the same way I feel like with my kids.
Yeah.
When they look at me like, man, hey, dang, Mr. Kellum, like, hey, he married, you know what I'm saying? He faithful, he a black man, you know what I'm saying? And he in his kids' lives, I'm being that example. Now, we're not perfect at all, you know what I'm saying? But they're learning through us. And so when we talk about the 7-on-7 coaches and things like that, man, be the example.
Yep.
Coaching them kids, hey, tell them, show them, be the example that you want them, that you know that they got to be one, because 9 times out of 10, they probably look like me and you.
Exactly.
That mean we already behind the 8 ball.
Yep.
And that means we already got to make sure our brand tight. We already got to make sure our social media is tight. We might get written off just by the color of our skin. So, hey, man, the coaches, man, just be the example. We can't be telling them one thing and then
living another.
You know what I'm saying? Because they looking at us more, you know what I'm saying? And so that's the biggest thing, though, bro, man. But definitely, man, this is definitely dope, bro. I definitely enjoyed this, dog, for real.
Nah, I bet, man. We gotta have something where we can get on here and just talk, man, and let people interact.
We might gotta make a little, you know, every now and then a little nightcap, like them boys. Talk about the game and stuff like that, bro. So shoot. Man, we could, you know what I'm saying, talk about it and see, man, especially like during football season or something like that, bro.
For sure.
Up a little bit more, bro. But definitely, man, I appreciate the opportunity, and I think what you're doing is dope, man. I already told you, your content dope. And man, you about them kids, and you about not just kids, but you about impacting and developing people, man, athletically, intellectually, emotionally, spiritually. So definitely keep up the great work, bro, for real, dog.
Nah, bet, man. And look, you already know how I feel about you. You my guy, man. Love you to death. Love you to life as well. Bro, make sure if y'all not following JK, make sure y'all give him a follow. If y'all not following me, y'all want to impact, y'all want to get some brothers who are trying to add value, man, and raising their kids correctly, God-fearing people. Man, you guys tap in with us at any capacity. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Hey, we just gonna continue to grow better, man, and we gonna do some more things together as well.
Got to, bro. And I appreciate it, man. Love you too, bro. And God bless you and the fam, dog.
Yes, sir. You too, man. I'll talk to you.
All right, now be easy, bro.